Welcome back to Item Get, guys. I'm Aliside, as always, and if you couldn't tell already, this week we're going to be taking a look into a Persona-related item, and that is the Persona 4 Official Design Works. Persona 4 is actually the first game in the series that I've played. I went and picked up Persona 4 Golden for my PS Vita, and I am absolutely loving it, if I haven't stated that enough already. I've probably logged more hours into it than I care to admit, but it has been quite a roller coaster ride so far. I think I'm nearing end game. It's almost been a year in game time, so I'm pretty sure that's about where it ends. What struck me most about the game was the art design, because it juxtaposes this really dark murder plot against a really colorful and kind of shiny, like, anime setting. I don't know how to describe it. As you can see from the cover, there's colors all over the place, so that's kind of what I'm getting at here. When I found out that they compiled all their design documents in one place, I got pretty excited and I went and bought it for myself. Printed by Udon, of course. Falling in love with this company. They're definitely getting a Christmas card from me this year. But the book itself is pretty much a really long interview with Shigenori Soejima. Drawn out interview with Shigenori Soejima. And he explains pretty much every character, the thought that went into the design, and it seems like the design process was pretty high up there in terms of relevance to how this game turned out. But that's enough of me talking about it. Let's get into it and I'll show you some stuff out of the book.
The Official Design Works is composed of 192 full-color, high-gloss pages, each filled to the brim with details from the man himself, Shigenori Soejima. While the book is a paperback, the cover is a very hard cardstock and has very little give to it. I always love getting an inside look into the thinking that goes into a game's aesthetics. Since Persona 4 has so much personality and character, I was really pleased to learn that Soejima explained pretty much everything that's in this book. Each main character has their own entry with a couple hundred words written by Soejima to explain design choices that he and his team made. It's hard to imagine some of these characters looking any other way than they do, but we get a handful of design drafts with some of the other ideas that were floating around. For example, Teddy could have looked drastically different from the final design that they landed on. Soejima eventually chose the innocent-looking form that we've come to know and love in order to play into Ted's character arc and make him more relatable. Speaking of choices, it seems that Soejima's decisions played an integral part in forming characters' personalities. For example, the character development team knew they wanted Chie to be an athletic girl that used martial arts and kicks during battles. Soejima suggested that she have a love of old-school kung fu movies, which helped to flesh out her character more, and she is not shy about telling you. As you can see for most of these pictures, the thematic color running through the game was yellow. It seems that Soejima picks a color to set the overall tone for the remainder of the artwork. In Persona 4, he wanted a warmer, more inviting tone to envelop the small town that the game takes place in, so he thought of yellow as the natural choice. If all of Soejima's insight into the design ideas throughout the book isn't enough, there is a relatively lengthy interview with him at the back end of the book as well. He goes on to discuss his work habits, his favorite characters, and even some of his design philosophy, among other things. It's a great way to wrap everything up, and it leaves you with a much greater understanding and appreciation for what he does. I realize I'm a little late to the party at this point, but you know, a game as great as this one deserves a little bit of attention every now and then, even if it is a couple years old. And while we're on the topic of old, I'm probably going to go back and play Persona 3 now also, based solely on the art direction and Soejima's awesome character design.
So there you go. As you can tell, it's a really nice little book. It had exactly what I was looking for in it. It had the exposition on why they went with the design choices that they did. It explained pretty much all of the art design. And I'm not really a big anime guy, so it kind of surprised me that I enjoyed the art direction of this so much, but I think it had to do with the characterization behind the drawings, including like the voice acting and stuff as to why I liked it so much. Definitely going to be following anything that Soejima does from here on out, since I loved what he did with this. If you want a little piece of Persona 4 for yourself, I found this on Amazon for about 25 bucks, which is pretty good for a 190-page book. I think that about wraps it up for this edition of Item Get. Thank you for watching. If you have anything else to add or any questions about this book or anything else that I've done in the past, you can leave a comment down below. And yeah, make sure you subscribe so you can come back and have a beer with me on weekends. I always do a little bit of gaming news while I drink some booze. So yeah, until next time, I'm Aliside. This has been Item Get. Have a good one, everybody.
We are living our lives.